And that's why Palworld is the superior monster catcher.
See, I was going to make a joke about um, Uma Musume, but yours was less crass than mine was.
Welcome back to the Storytime Network. We are, of course, here with more D&D, so let's get underway.
Without further ado.
So, last we left our heroes, Seamus the half-elf bard, Felix the Eladrin bard. It's because I was going to say painter, and then I corrected myself in the wrong direction. Felix the Eladrin wizard, Dairon the Genasi rogue, and Aldane the half-elf paladin. The four of you, as well as Rua and Prody. Wow. That's already a good indication of how this session's going to go, I think. Had basically sorted out the last bits that were needed to be done in regards to Claude Neopole. With teleportation at the ready, as you guys had your long rest, Felix brought the party back to Glavnaya, and you, the four of you, as well as Ernest, Hawk, made their way to meet with Drick. It was decided that Ernest would basically head to Centralis on his own, because he was confident in how self-sufficient he would be to make his way there, and the further away he is from Centralis, the easier it will be to have him do his best to pretend that he isn't actually associated with you guys. Hawk and Drick more or less had heart-to-heart, where Drick decided that he would basically basically believe that Hawk had fully paid for the crimes that he'd committed. Because to be fair, Hawk was in that prison in Cordis for over 2 decades. And so Drick basically hired Hawk as a messenger, already putting him through his paces, delivering various things around the city of Glavnaya. After some more brief words, Felix then brought the main party with teleports to Dragon's Throne in Siltanok. However, a mishap had happened as Felix had accidentally brought the party to Centralis. The party were immediately beset by the cult of the Tarask. However, Dairon, in a bit of quick thinking, which, as a reminder, if you haven't already put it on your character sheet, you do get inspiration, because Dairon used their wish to actually teleport the party immediately to the Temple of the Seiryu. Upon arrival, the party were at pretty much the northernmost part of Siltanok, by a cliffside temple in the middle of a very heavy thunderstorm. The party entered the Dark Temple, and Dairon, heading in first, was immediately swallowed by the darkness from within. The others followed along. However, Prody and Rua were stopped by a barrier of electricity. However, by this point, it seems like an inevitability that Rua will very likely find a way inside. Dairon awoke to the sight of a small room. At this point, I'm going to bring you onto the map, so you can see this majesty that I have worked on. This is the ping for where Dairon is.
Does Dairon get any help here?
let me finish, please.
Okay.
It's fine. Dairon had a brief chat with Seiryu, who basically said how for now to just not even try to talk about whatever is going on with Rua's deal near him, because it could lead to potential complications. And the Seiryu even suggested that you might even need to kill Rua, depending on how friendly whatever the source of this ability that Rua is able to do to enter these terrains that the gods are making. Because as the Seiryu had said, anyone could create a terrain, or at the very least, the people who can create terrains, the only people who can enter or leave one is with the quote-unquote permission of the person who created it. And by that inference, the other gods haven't willingly let Rua inside one of them. So the fact that Rua is doing so is quite worrisome. At the very least, in the future, it could be worrisome. Right now, he's been a pretty useful bit of help. For now, though, Dairon is currently alone in this maze. The only companion you have, Dairon, are the skills that you've acquired on your journey and the sounds of your breathing. I'm going to play the next song, or at least post the next song to be played, as we are jumping right in. And so, Dairon the Genasi Rogue, before you, there are, from the looks of it, at least 3 passageways. From what you can see here, there is an entrance that leads to your immediate left. However, there seems to be a fork in a road further down. There's nothing stopping you from having a brief look down each corridor before you decide to make your, the start of this exploration through this labyrinthine location.
Well,
you should have access to your token.
I do not.
Oh, I put it on the map player like a dickhead. There we go.
There we go. I think first off, I'm just gonna start by stealthing. Not sleight of handing.
The maze did not notice you doing something.
And I'm just gonna creep over here and then look down the hall.
Okay. By the way, this room is in normal lighting, unless stated otherwise. So
Right.
you
I'm
don't
just trying
need
to move
rely on... Oh, I
light.
misclicked and did turn order. That would have been a bit bad. So
I have concerns.
You look down this hallway, and there is a door meeting you down this corridor.
Great. I do the same. I'm like trying to move quietly so I don't attract any voices.
So, greeting you down one way, you begin to see a corridor down this way that leads into a larger room, it looks like, and up ahead you see what appears to be a bend.
Is this like rubble there, or?
It appears to be rubble, but it looks like it won't impede your journey, because so it's a bit hard to tell from the room, but basically if you were to come from here, where my pointer is, yeah?
Right.
You can make like an immediate turn, and there's more to the room, it looks like.
I see.
So it's not as if you're immediately getting like, railroaded or anything.
Right.
So, you've got the door above you that could do with being opened. You can go down this passageway, or you can check the larger room. There's nothing stopping you from turning back and, like, you know, doubling back.
At least not
All
for
you
now.
know, according to the Seiryu, is that you just need to leave this place. He did imply that there is more than one exit to make. So it seems like the only failure condition, as he said, would either be to give up or to die.
Right, and I'm not necessarily going to do the former just yet.
I mean, depending on how you die, it can also be a way to give up.
Yeah. I'm going to go back here and just, like, listen to the door, see if I hear anything on the other side.
Give me a perception check. So, you don't hear anything from inside the room. The smell, because, you know, you are using your perception. The area just smells like stone. There isn't any particular, like, scent so far that, like, could give you any indication of anything, like, to help you. You don't see anything either so far that could be, like, of importance. And, yeah. The actual door does have a, like, handle to turn to open it, but there doesn't seem to be any, like, hole for a key or anything like that. So you don't really see anything as, like, a lock to pick.
Okay.
You can at least open the door and peek inside.
There's no, like, keyhole, right?
No, so you could just turn the door and open it.
Dairon's going to very slowly crack the door open.
As you open the door, you peek inside, and you see a mirror that seems to be producing light of some sort. Like, it's this glass pane that seems to be shooting light ahead.
Can I, like, where is it in terms of the room? Like, it's, like, the light is here, right? It's going that
The
way.
light is actually coming from this glass, pointing.
Right, but it's like pointing this way, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna look in this direction here.
So you see, multiple panes of light that all seem to be concentrating in a spot. You notice where the light meets in the middle is where the light from each the light that's being produced from each of these pieces of glass all stop as they all meet in the center of this room. In the center, it's glowing a very not bright light, like you're not having to avert your gaze to look at it. But you do also see one end of the room, to the very north of it, is a passageway that seems to go further in, and to the east of the room is a door, similar to the one that you've, standing by. There also appears to be another passageway going to the south of this room as well.
Hold on, I'm just trying to think of something.
Meanwhile, the other party's like,
What
I
is it?
really hope Dairon doesn't find themselves in a room with, like, light-emitting glass.
Yeah, that feels ominous.
You know, if Dairon knew anything about the religion of Seiryu, that's actually an omen of the apocalypse.
Fuck off.
I sure hope Dairon doesn't come across their phobia. Light-emitting glass.
I actually don't know if Dairon has a phobia. Well, I guess we'll find out together.
Commitment, I feel like.
Hey.
Nah, if
You're not
anything,
wrong.
I feel like that's more Felix, in a way.
Probably. Possibly? Maybe.
I mean,
Not as a way.
what I wouldn't give for one of Felix's, like, ink bottles right now. I'd start, like, sketching a map or something. But for now, I think Dairon's just going to... I can't see what's in the pool of light, right?
It just seems to be that it's... So it just seems to be light that's emitting from, like, where the... So I guess the best way to describe it is just, like, a very soft ball of light. Like, you don't know whether the light at the center of the room is even physical. I mean, there's ways you could probably try and test, but that's up to you.
I guess the question is, do I trust Seiryu to not be a dick right now?
I mean, it's up to you. Regardless of anything, you do need to make some progression.
I do. I know. I need to think. Dairon is gonna Dairon's gonna leave this room alone for a second. And then they're gonna go here and just take a peek.
It's a dead end.
Cool. Great. Excellent. Okay, back to the light room. What?
No, just because like you just see that and they're like, okay. So as you get closer to the panes of glass and closer to the center of the room, it does begin to get warmer, but not enough that like it could burn. Like it seems to be just the temperature's rising, but that's about it so far.
Does it feel familiar?
Give me an intelligence check.
Nope.
No, you don't recognize this. This has no particular significance to you.
Can I inspect the mirror that I'm next to right now?
Sure, give me an investigation check. As you, to begin with, like, examine the mirror just with your eyes, the mirror seems to be a very well-crafted make. From what you can gather, all of them seem to be of the same kind of quality, which is extremely high quality, to be exact. As you like hover a hand near the glass, it does seem to be having that same heat emission as you feel getting closer to the center of the room, but you feel confident that it won't burn you if you were to make contact with the mirror. Or even if you were to like pass through the light, I should as well.
Dairon's gonna grab a dagger. Do I have my gear on me?
Yeah. You have everything you would have had when you came in.
Okay, Dairon's gonna grab one of their daggers, and as a ready action, if I get attacked, I'm just gonna swing my dagger. Just gonna swing and attack.
So you're walking into the path of the light, correct?
I'm gonna like reach out and touch the center, yeah.
So as you find yourself having to make contact with the light to get close to the center, you are beginning to get warmer. You know, you find yourself getting a little bit of a sweat forming, but not enough that it's causing particular discomfort. As you find your dagger hovering near the center of the room, nothing happens.
No
I mean-
weird effect.
No? Because metal tends to do so, light is reflecting from the dagger, but nothing's happening if you were to, say, cast your glance in the direction of where the light reflected from the dagger would end at. Like, this is... From what you can tell, there doesn't seem to be some sort of trick with the mirrors.
Okay. Interesting.
If you were to try and touch the dagger, if you were to pull it away from the center, it's warm. It's the warmest that has been so far in the room, but that's about it. It's not burning. It's not that hot.
What if I stand in the center?
Do you do so?
Sure.
You begin to start to perspire. You begin to feel the sweat form up as you would stand in the center of the room. But that's about it.
Hmm.
So, where do you go? Do you head back the way you would have came to this room that seems to have some rubble? Do you check to the south?
check here.
This? Okay. As you cast a glance down the hallway, you see a passageway. Let me just check. And... there we go.
And then...
It
Yeah.
just seems to be a way that gets to a bend. So do you open the door there?
Do I hear anything on the other side?
I'd suggest you roll. I mean, based on your passive perception, you don't seem to hear anything. The only thing you've been hearing so far is your
Do I
footsteps.
hear
breathing.
God?
No.
Okay.
But as you listen into the door, you don't hear anything of particular significance.
Okay.
Actually, no, you do. So in this room, you begin to hear the sound of electricity.
Hmm.
The door itself, by the way, I should have mentioned, is made of wood. And the actual handle itself is made of wood, so it's not a conductive material. Apart from, obviously, you know, if it was to catch fire. But from what you can gather in your history of just being alive, these doors seem to be made of a material that would probably be resistant to fire. You know, like fire doors would be.
Dairon's gonna very gently open the door.
As you open the door, you take a glance into the room. You see at both ends of the room are like, how would I describe it? You see what look like fountains at the north and south of the room that are basically emitting electricity that seem to clash against each other, that then create loads of loose sparks around the room. You do notice, however, neither of the sparks seem to get to like the very end of the walls. They stop just before. So if you were to hug the wall, you would probably be safe.
Dairon will make a note of this and leave.
So you have, again, the room with the rubble. You have this.
I think Dairon's gonna go down this direction.
Okay then.
And then just take a peek in either direction.
You cast a glance down this way, and you see something up ahead. It's this like statue that's got like red paint at the very end. As you cast your vision down the other way, you see what appears to be. Let me just check. Oh, it appears to be another bend.
Okay. Again, the player says "fuck no" to statues. So Dairon's gonna go this way.
See, in another life, I'd have had this. I would have. If this was a different kind of map, I would have had it so every time you look away, the statue would have been getting closer.
Yeah, no thanks.
And it would have. So as you peek down
My
this
first
way,
Doctor Who episode was Blink, so like I am traumatized.
you see something glowing at the end of the hall. Like glowing a very soft blue.
Can I hear if anything's like behind me?
You don't hear anything approaching.
Okay.
Oh, you're approaching me?
I'm gonna move a little bit closer to the light source, but like keeping in mind I realized what the electricity room was, so staying close to a wall.
So as you peek inside, you see a glowing orb of light and some other bits of like strewn debris in this room. As you peek around, there seems to be another bend.
Just around the river bend.
Dairon will go up to the like glowing orb. And maybe we'll ponder it.
So how about you ponder why you have no bitches?
I'm married.
I meant Dairon. Well, no, there you go. Your wife isn't a bitch, so, you should ponder why you have none. I'm being nice. I'm not calling her a bitch. So as you get closer, the orb feels cool. Compared to the room of lights and mirrors, this room feels cooler by comparison.
And I'm gonna like touch it with my dagger.
You begin to, based on your experience of just objects, the orb itself seems to be made of glass. As you like gently tink it, and nothing happens.
Dairon's gonna very warily put my hand on it.
The orb is cool to the touch.
Can I remove it?
The orb seems... So as you, jostle the orb, it seems to be fixed. You'd have to exert some level of force to remove the orb from its, place.
Good to know. Maybe we'll come back later to this. Is there another entrance to the south here?
Yes. Do you look down there?
Yep.
So,
Keep in mind, I'm trying to be as quiet as I can as I do all of this.
I would assume so. You see more bends. If you were a diver attempting to swim upwards too quickly, you would be in the bends right now.
I'd be dead. Got it.
I had a friend who had the bends, and he was saying he genuinely nearly died.
Yeah, no, bends are fucked. Don't. If you're in that situation, do not test people with that.
Yeah, no, the bends are no fucking joke, seriously.
Dairon's gonna meander down. Actually, no, before I do, I'm just gonna go back here and just look at the statue. And just make sure the statue hasn't moved.
So as you look to the statue, it seems to be just of a humanoid shape. The statue doesn't seem to have any particular qualities. It seems to be just an average make. But the statue itself hasn't moved from its position based on your memory of it. I would like to imagine Dairon has a good enough memory to recall subtle changes in a shape from stuff they would have already just seen. And yeah, I would like
to.
And Dairon would notice that nothing has changed with the statue. Unless this statue is playing the long con.
Which it could.
It could, but so far it seems to be safe.
Dairon is going to go back around the way they came to this direction and then look down this direction here.
Okay. Why did I... Oh, that's why. So I forgot there's actually a door here. I will say, towards the center of this map, I was starting to get like, I just want this map fucking done. But yes, so there's a door. I assume you press your ear to the door.
Yes.
You begin to hear the sound of something rotating inside.
Yeah, Dairon says nope, and then just kind of looks that way.
Let me describe the sound. So it sounds like... So Dairon the player has never heard, doesn't know what a ceiling fan is, but it sounds like a rotary fan.
Yeah, Dairon says nope to that, and then... looks down the other hall.
As you look down that hallway, you see a passageway that seems to lead into a larger room.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna look into the room.
As you look into the room, you see a stone table is in the center of this room. Let me just see. Okay. There seems to be a passageway further down, as well as, well, so there's 3 passageways. There's one more straight ahead of you, and you see another 2 to the south of the room.
Does the table look sarcophagus-like?
No.
Dairon's gonna go close to it and just take a quick look at it.
The table seems to be unremarkable. It seems to have some engravings, just to give the table some, like, level of quality, but it doesn't seem to have anything much more beyond that.
What about... And so, like, I'm just gonna start looking down the halls before I make a decision.
So, why did I put this here?
I'll do this here first, then this, then this.
Okay. This hall seems to lead down a corridor further in. Then you go to this entrance. Yep. So, oh, it's a door. Okay. Yeah, now I remember. So this room to the south, this passageway to the south is actually leads to a door. Might be.
I do love that occasionally Kaido is finding out what's next at the same pace as Dairon.
I was a lot more zoomed out when I was, like, doing this.
I'm not criticizing, it's just kind of funny
Also,
that you're like, oh,
say,
right, it's a door!
Yeah, like, oh shit, we're learning together.
Yeah.
Do you head down to have a
We're always learning. I always say this about you, Kaido. You're always learning.
Do you put an ear to the door?
Yes, as always.
You're not near the door. As you use a perception check, you don't seem to hear anything of note.
Hold on, let me actually do the check. One of these days I'll roll a 1.
As you actively perceive, you do not hear anything of note.
Okay, I'm gonna look down this direction now.
As you look down the corridor, you see a very long passageway that seems to lead to another corner.
Gyro's gonna go down here.
Okay. There's another bend.
God damn it! So many bends. Okay.
I wish I could be bent over. I mean, what? No, I would never say
Looking down this direction.
that. What do you
Cool.
know?
I have a feeling it's gonna link up here, but you know.
You might not.
Yeah, no.
What are the chances, though? Look.
Another bed. Great. Excellent.
I'm waiting for you to go
Just
back into that room via a different entrance and the statue to be staring at that entrance.
More
I'm gonna look
passageways.
down this way. Unless that's a door. Cool. This way?
Wouldn't you know it? It's another bend.
I'm sure Seiryu's watching this going like, what the fuck is he doing? What the fuck are they doing?
Oh, there we go. So you do actually see two passageways. Although from where you are, you can actually be able to see that it leads further in.
What is this? If you don't mind me asking.
This is just the wall. This is just the outside of the map.
Got it. Okay.
I just didn't want to blacken the entirety
No,
of the area
fair.
because I didn't want to fucking. So down here you do see another thing with a bend.
Okay.
You do see this. There is actually like a pit. It doesn't seem to be It doesn't seem to have spikes down or anything. It's just, you know, if you didn't leap over, you wouldn't be able to get across.
Okay. Dairon's gonna look down this passage.
So as you look down, you begin to see what appears to be, like, how would I describe? Some sort of, like, cave? It's similar to the entrance where you were, where, like, it's a mix, like, stone that's not been fully, like, straightened out.
I'm gonna very slowly and quietly make my way down.
As you look around, you begin to, you don't do that, but,
What is this?
What's this?
it looks to be a tree root.
Okay. Dairon's gonna
Like,
just
so-
lean down and touch it.
Nothing happens. As you look down more and see more up ahead, because at this point you would see more of this corridor, you see it actually leads to that door you didn't go through. Further down up ahead, you see more passageways. As such, ones that lead to corners. As you come down to here, let me see. This can go away. Oh, there we go. There you are. So far, nothing has really happened, you know.
Yeah.
I want to laugh. I would laugh if, like, we just cut back to Seiryu just going, shit, I forgot to put all the stuff in the actual maze.
Well, that door you would have passed that you didn't, because there was a door here. It's fine anyway,
Yeah.
isn't it? But like,
What's in this room? What's that?
a desk. It looks like.
Ooh, what does this?
Anything else in the room? Oh.
Yeah. You see, like, purple-colored moss.
Dairon's gonna just go along here and like take a quick glance at the desk. Any
The
papers,
desk-
notes?
You don't see anything on the desk that would like give you any form of information.
No
Really.
drawers or anything either?
You see drawers, and as you open the drawers, there's nothing that greets you inside.
Hmm.
I assume you look further into this side part of the room.
I'm very cautiously approaching.
You could
the
just
purple
stand
wall.
here. You could just
Okay.
stand here and then look in. So,
Yeah.
okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So more of
nope,
this-
not dealing with that bullshit.
Understandable.
I don't know what that is. Do not want to deal with it.
You find a bend.
Right.
I'm just gonna DM the others because I want to tell them part of why I've done this.
I do want to hear comedic reasoning.
There you go. All three of you have had the.
Okay, that's clever.
I'm so scared.
Don't worry about it. You shouldn't be scared. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, you peek down and you see a room with more passageways and bends.
God damn it. Okay. Dairon still is remembering the other directions they haven't gone yet, but
As you peek in, you see a room what looks like more tree roots. You also see more of this other passageway. You have so many directions to go in.
and now what's in this way?
You see what looks like a dead tree and doors at the northernmost part of the room. This dead tree is mostly like withered away, so it's mostly just on the actual floor itself. Yeah. Where do you go now, Dairon?
Dairon's gonna inspect the tree a little bit.
Give me a nature check.
Do I actually have that skill?
So this tree seems to have been dead for quite a while.
Mhm.
Interestingly, though, as you examine parts of the tree, some of it seems to have been melted. Move closer.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you moving your token?
Yes. Second.
So, the moment you walk inside, you are immediately swallowed inside something.
God damn it.
You are in a... How would I describe it? Your entire surrounding is gelatinous in nature, and you feel a burning sensation all across your body, as you also can't breathe.
And I immediately use
What if I
shocking grasp.
told you? What if I told you again that you're in a gelatinous cube?
I would believe you. I'm shocking grasping from the inside.
There we go. So, roll shocking grasp. Would you believe that you more than hit its AC? So, as you do that, the transparent cube of gelatinous nature, the gelatinous cube, if you will, immediately begins to wither away as you destroy it.
Oh, that was unpleasant. Should have expected that, but I don't know why I didn't. That's on me.
Admittedly, the cube was completely transparent, and it wasn't seemingly eating anything at the time to, like, you know, why is this thing hovering inside?
Anything else in the room of note?
No.
Do I see anything? Do I hear anything else?
Perception. So with your passive perception, you hear nothing of note.
Okay. Let me just really quickly roll another one.
As you actively listen out, you don't hear anything either.
Okay. Let's down this way.
Good question. What do you do now, Dairon? You see
Oh, I'd love it to be simple.
So, why did I do this?
I don't know why you did anything.
Okay, so as you take a peek, you see a wall at the end of the room that seems to lead to an up and down section. There's a reason why I've not removed it yet. Not because of anything important, I just remembered that I was really lazy with this particular bit. Do you, like, move further in to see the up and down section? Like the bend?
Yes.
Is it just... Oh, thank God.
Okay. I'm gonna very quickly look for traps, Rick, around here.
Okay, give me a investigation check.
Look, you put the most paranoid person in the room in a labyrinth.
Yeah, that was by design. You don't find any traps now that you've randomly decided to check for traps at this point in the journey.
Look, if I were someone, I would put traps on the stairs.
Yeah, so by the way, these stairs do lead to a different elevation. Like, they're not that much difference, but you know.
Dairon does go up the stairs.
Do you?
Yep.
It leads back to the purple moss room.
Absolutely not. We're not dealing with that. Absolutely goddamn not.
You have a look inside, and you see a room full of, like, this greenish, like... How would I describe it? Like, this sort of, like... I'm trying to think now. So, this, like... very pastel green. You see... It's like a fire, actually. It's like a very low... flame across bits of the floor.
Dairon's gonna really pull out a ball bearing and like fling it into the green bits.
You hear the sound of the metal hitting the stone floor. And the ball bearing just continues to roll as, like...
Do I hear sizzling of some kind, or...?
No. It seems to be a very low flame in terms of temperature and, like, intensity.
Do I hear anything? Like
Apart from the
creatures
sound...
breathing?
You only hear the sound
Observations.
of the ball bearing as it's rolling across the floor.
Okay. Dairon's gonna just very gingerly look inside deeper. Like, closer to here.
So you begin to see more of the room. Why did I do this bit? Oh, okay, that was why. So there's a room that leads upwards with a door, possibly to where you could have entered the room from alternatively, as well as a path going downwards, which doesn't have a door, but you can look into it, but the angle you're at, because you're having to like really lean over, you don't really get a good look into further down. You'd have to probably like walk inside the room or come from the possibly north passage. You could also just try stepping on the fire and seeing how that goes. If you
I'm
want
just gonna try and like walk around on this thing.
So that's bits of where the fire seems to have like gone out on that part of the floor. As you look in, there's just more deeper bits of the cave that you're in. As you look in, again, because like you can actually stand by the entrance or near it, and I'll just remove this part. You see a small box of a room, and then another passageway that leads deeper in. You see what looks like the remains of like a broken table halfway in the middle of it.
I feel like I should be concerned, but this could also just be my paranoia. You said that this is an entrance?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like go there and just peek in. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you open the door?
I listen first, obviously. Just assume I'm doing that.
You don't hear anything of note.
Cool, I open the door. Excellent. What's down
So
this
from
way?
this angle,
I will make it through. I'm doing my best, Kaido. I really am. Okay.
So as you approach this room, you see what looks like, well, as you walk, you see a table with a candle on the top. The candle's producing a gentle glow of flame. What do you do?
Okay. Dairon will walk in.
Okay, you walk inside, nothing happens.
I'm gonna like inspect the table and the candle.
Investigation.
What? What's...
No, it's just very funny. I'm just laughing because, like, this is exactly how I imagined this would go. Yeah, it's a very nice, well-made table. The candle seems to be burning as if it's been going for a while, just based on the amount of wax that's melted. As you peek inside this corridor, I assume that's what you're doing.
Yep.
And as you look down this way,
More beds, great.
how about you get then?
I eventually will. I'm also gonna get out of here at some point. Hit.
Fuck it. There is also a pit here, so you would have to make like a jump.
Yeah.
But Who knows?
I'm so curious if, like, for whatever reason, it'd be so funny if you put the exit, like, right here.
At the opposite end of the map. Right
No,
there,
no,
sorry.
like, right here. Just,
Where are you pinging? Where are you pinging? I don't know where you want me to look.
Up near the start, basically.
Oh, like, around, like, here?
no, like here.
Oh, right. I see. Well,
That would have been really funny.
you know.
Honestly, I
What
would
you-
honestly believe that Kaido would put the exit in the starting room.
I would consider myself if I did that, because I think it'd be very funny.
Imagine there is just a door that has like an exit sign on it, and Seiryu's just watching confusedly as Dairon walks away.
I'm just gonna.
Okay. Great. I'm gonna slow.
Oh shit! Where'd you go? Where did you go? Oh, okay.
I'm assuming that just connects, yeah. That connects up there.
I'm not giving you a reward, by the way, if you clear the entire map before you find before you leave. In fact, I'll even level you down for wasting my time.
So I was gonna go here, go back to the room.
Okay.
I just
do you
opened that
peek in?
door. Yep. I'm just gonna look at the dead end. and
Is
just,
it the
like,
weekend where he's in that video of him in like a house of mirrors?
I don't know.
It's like a. 1 second. Yeah, it is the weekend. Yeah, this GIF. I'm just imagining this for Dairon.
Okay, I'm gonna
What
go
now?
back up.
What now?
I'm going back up there. I'm taking the route that doesn't take me through the purple moss.
Also, by the way.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Seiryu's just like, why'd you Dairon move away from an exit? He's just like watching, screaming, shaking his like television if he had one.
Do you want to check out the statue yet again?
No, absolutely not.
So there seems to be a room up ahead. You see what looks like water here.
When you touch it, it's
not
another
running
gelatinous
water.
cube.
It's not running water, and you just see there's like a bridge, and like this small body of water and just a bridge. But you can like hug the wall and walk around the body of water.
I'm gonna stand here and then just do a quick scan.
Give me a perception check. This is just a room that happens to carry a wooden bridge and a body of water with questionable depth beneath it.
This is Seiryu's bridge and running water room. Why is that confusing?
Everyone knows that part of the trial to become blessed by Seiryu, you have to find a room with a body of water of questionable depth and cross a bridge across it.
I'm imagining the scene with the first scene with fucking what's his name, Lil Jon in Men in Tights, where like you know we don't need to do this. The river's not that deep. Where I'm on this side and now I'm on this side. You see what I'm getting at here? It's not that complicated.
Well, don't forget though, Seiryu is a kobold, so
I mean, yeah,
You-
water that's deep to him is not necessarily deep to everybody else.
yeah.
I was gonna tap their, like, just test the bridge.
The bridge is of sturdy construction, seems to be of solid wood.
Dairon's gonna make her way quickly across it,
The bridge does not even make a sound as you run across it.
and then I'm gonna look down this way.
You see a room that leads into something much larger. You peek fully inside.
Yep.
You see an altar with a unlit torch at the center of it, as like it would lead further up, as well as a door to the north of the room, and multiple passageways to the northeast, the northwest, the west, and the southwest of the room.
I'm gonna take a quick look. I'm gonna like inspect the torch brazier.
You know what's really bad? For the longest time, I thought the word brazier was brazier. Like, within the context of it being called a brazier, so I was like, why are people on about brows so much? Not a proud moment.
Oh, it's fine. I've done similar.
So, do you actually climb up? I say climb up, it's not that high up. You're not having to, like...
I'm doing the perimeter and then climbing up.
Yeah, as you make your way up, nothing happens.
Any interesting markings on the brazier?
No.
What happened? I'm just gonna light my hand as if I'm using shocking grasp and touch the brazier.
Electricity courses through the stone briefly and then nothing happens.
Oh. Not a bad thought, I think.
It's definitely a thought.
Anyway, Dairon's gonna look down this way. A door. Oh, it's a door. I'm like tapping my head as if like I knew this. I didn't. I forgot. I said the square too big to realize.
Wow,
Door.
the person who came up with this part of the map must be a genius.
I mean, thank Gonzo Dungeon.
Thank you,
You
Gonzo
open the
Dungeon.
door?
Not yet. Dairon does look down here first.
Ah. You see a passageway.
Okay. In half an hour, if I don't make it, if I'm not anywhere near anything.
Oh god, there's still
Tell me
so
if I'm,
much
like-
of that side of the map to go.
Yeah.
I thought we might be near the edge, but no, there's still a lot more to
No.
explore.
I'm gonna just look up and down this way. Yeah, I figured.
Out of curiosity, how much time did you budget for the maze, Kaido?
Enough time.
Multiple sessions?
I was gonna say, are you prepared for us to be here next session?
No, because I'll be moving the scene along, and we'll just pretend Dairon has made some progress.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
open
fair.
the door?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, we've been at it for an hour now.
You see a very large
God, no.
room that looks like it's some sort of chessboard.
Absolutely not. Dairon opens this door. Get the player vetoes.
What, you don't want to play chess?
Door?
Get the player hates chess games in these dungeons.
For 1 second.
I mean, I did have my first D&D game. Like, we had to play chess for some sort of puzzle, and the DM legitimately just played chess against one of the other players while the rest of us sat around doing nothing.
Yeah, those are DMs about more of this dungeon design.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
What?
I've DM'd them more about this dungeon.
Oh god, but I
I'm
want to
calm, I'm
know
calm.
everything after you tell me. After we do this.
So I'm just gonna thingy. There you go.
Okay. Dairon's just gonna go this way because I, the player, refuse to deal with the chest
So
set.
there is another door. Do you open it and peek in the room?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna laugh when we
Bam.
find out afterwards that chess is Seiryu's favorite game, and he just
mean,
wanted
there
to
is
have a
Dragon
good time. Yeah, just wanted to have a good time with you, Dairon. But
There is this oddly shaped room, but there doesn't seem to be much of like notes. You do see statues in each part of the room, however, and they're all in like a fetal position.
Revolution. I do.
You cannot gather any significance from these statues. If anything, they more evoke the image of like gargoyles, but there's no churches for these gargoyles to ward demons from. So, who knows?
it's actually Seiryu's planning room for his first attempt at his religion. Didn't really go over well. Nobody liked the gargoyles.
As you see the... Oh, okay, I see.
Fine, I'll look through here.
Do you look at... So as you open the door, you see what looks like a room with some sort of altar with steps leading up to this, like, light source. And a room up to the north with another door.
I'm gonna inspect the light source.
Give me an investigation check.
I'm gonna laugh so hard. Nope, wrong check.
The orb runs away. It sprouts legs. So as you examine the orb, it's emitting light. That's about it. It's not even emitting heat. It's like the light spell, but it's a physical light.
Can I... Let me see if I have anything. Like a torch or something. I very specifically didn't. I have another candle. I'm gonna try and... Can I light the candle on this? Is that what this is?
It's not like fire. It's just a physical, like, ball of light. It doesn't seem to be emitting any heat from it. So, no, the candle you have does not get lit by it.
Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna open that door.
You find yourself at the room with the rotary blades. The blades spin in a anti-clockwise motion around the room.
How fast?
Pretty fast. They're also low enough to the ground where you can't even, like, properly crouch and crawl under.
Dairon hasn't thought about how to deal with that, but we'll get back to that later.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look up that way.
Yeah, it's another bend.
Oh. There we go.
I see. Uh-huh. Can I wait before you reveal? Can I guess what's gonna happen?
Sure. Well.
I'm gonna murder you. Dairon's just gonna take a quick glance at the test
You're
set.
beginning to smell the scent of herring.
Ugh.
Oh
Like, it
god!
just
Oh
begins
god!
to
The Seiryu
permeate
transported us to Finland.
He's gonna force you to eat surströmming. Those who don't know, that's the infamous kind of fish that just will make you vomit on scent.
Oh yeah, that bullshit. Why do people make that? Why?
Fun fact: you're
Why
supposed to
not?
actually You're supposed to open the can in water, so that the water immediately gets rid of the scent. You're not
That's so
supposed to just.
unintuitive.
You're not supposed to just open the fish can in open air.
Anyway, I'm just gonna do a quick examination of the chess set.
The chess set seems to be of nice make. Most of the pieces are destroyed, however. A lot of them have their heads, quote-unquote, cut off.
Can I glean anything from that?
No. Maybe someone has a similar hatred for you as for the chess, as chess.
Yeah.
With chess, even.
Maybe it's Seiryu's last champion. They just keep picking champions who hate chess.
It's the bad luck of the draw, unfortunately.
All right.
I'm more of a Yahtzee guy, and my champions prefer generally
Alright.
card games instead.
Children's card games.
Well, might even say card games
Kaido,
on.
I'm gonna
Card
make my way.
games on motorcycles.
I'm gonna make my way back to here. The mirror room.
Okay. As you take not too much of a long way around, but you know.
I'm avoiding the purple moss room.
What do you do now then, Dairon?
All right, we're gonna do this way.
Where did you go?
Off to the left,
Oh,
just
okay.
above the rotary blades.
To the left, to the left.
You begin to hear the sound of the rotary blades again
Okay.
from behind. As you maneuver past the rubble and you look down this way, oh, that's why I did that. Okay. Fuck it, I'll reveal more than I should. Why not? So, in this room, you see a room full of, saw blades that are just stuck out from the wall. They're not moving, they're just there, spinning.
Do I see guides or anything?
Any what?
Can I see any track for them to move up across the wall?
No, they're just fixed in place.
Interesting. Dairon's just gonna move really quickly across here.
Yeah. So you see this bit of the room, this corridor, this passageway even.
Also, when I'm down here, do I see anything beyond here?
Good question. So you briefly see a soft blue glowing light.
Okay. Dairon's not gonna fuck with that just yet. They want to save their levitation trick for later. I feel like I'm not making zero progress. I just don't think I'm making a ton of progress.
Seiryu's left to go take a piss. So there's a door up ahead, and then there's this passageway. which seems to lead to a room that is a bit mossy. Oh, fuck it, why not? I don't.
Yeah, it's fine.
You pass by the door. I'm just gonna say you see into the room. You see more running more water, but this looks like you can clearly see the bottom. The water depth probably goes to like your fucking like ankles.
Okay. Can I try to open this door?
Yeah, you open it.
Yep.
You see a room with like stones that have been carefully arranged to make a circle, and bits of overgrown roots.
Okay. I feel like I'm walking through a bunch of like story flags that I'm just like noping my way through. I'm down here now.
I can see.
Yeah, would you say you have RPG sickness?
Yes.
It seems to lead into a deeper room. You see a table with many chairs that have been arranged around the table.
Is none of this ringing any bells to me?
No. Oh, okay. So as you pass by, you see this, like, a bend.
Yeah, I'm sure that goes where I think it goes.
It's
You
around the
peek
river
around the
bend.
corner, yes.
Yeah.
You see a door, actually, to this passageway.
Is that a door?
Yeah.
Okay, I open the door.
As you peek in, you, like, see a room with stone. And as you look further in, you see this, like, engraving in the ground. It doesn't seem to be of much significance from what you can gather. And as you look down this corridor, just from the glance, you see more passageways. You also see another door.
I open this door.
You begin to see a room that seems to have, like, torches. And you see bookshelves. As you look inside the room, it seems to be a library of some sort. What does Dairon do?
I'm gonna walk in. I'm also just. Can I listen for anything?
Yeah. I assume you do perception, right? I mean, from your passive perception, at least, you don't hear anything.
Yeah. There it is.
From your active perception, you also don't really hear anything of note.
Alright, can I take a look at the books?
As you open one of the books up, it's completely blank.
Great.
As you find another book off a completely different shelf, it's also blank.
Really couldn't even give me any books to read. I figured I was just gonna live here now.
You just hear Seiryu say, "You have a fucking test! Find an exit already!"
Dairon just like chuckles. Like I was just gonna live here down here, I thought.
I'm gonna start killing your friends to move things along if I have to.
I look
Oh,
up
wait,
here.
no.
And then you just say, Seiryu, you go, thank you, Aldane, for selling that for me. Thank you. It's a door.
I open the door. Cool. Darren's gonna look through here.
Oh wait, I forgot. This isn't even a door. It's just it's a wall. We'll pretend that didn't happen.
Okay. Darren's gonna go back here.
No, Dairon examines that wall for 30 minutes trying to figure out what it is.
Oh, it's a door. I forgot.
I open the door.
As you come to this room, though, because you would have seen it,
Yeah.
you see more things in this area. This isn't a door. This is just a passageway deeper in. Do you open the door or listen in?
Yep. I do both.
So you listen against the door. You don't hear anything of note. As you open it, you see a large room with torture equipment inside. You know them wheels where you like stretch a person out on?
Yeah.
You see those at the bottom of the room, and then just a wall of spikes. You also see another door leading in, and what looks to be... Oh, there's two doors. Oh, I'm learning as we... the dungeon is being updated as you play.
I see you've used AI. I'll look down this way.
I have a girlfriend called I, the Seiryu says.
Oh, nice. Good for you guys.
It comes to a... So you see a dead end, and then a thing that looks like a bend. As you come to it, and would you believe it?
Yep. Uh-huh. What is this? I want to know what goes here. Yeah, figure.
You see that soft blue light again. As you peek into the room, you see an altar to a very large statue that seems to be emitting a very soft, whitish blue glow.
What does the statue look like?
The statue looks like a classical angel. Humanoid with wings on their back.
Can I do a religion check?
Yeah? It's a statue of an angel of some sort. It doesn't evoke any particular specific, religious depiction.
Can I just, quickly check the light source?
So, from the statue's chest, there just seems to be... The stone in particular just seems to be emitting a light. It must be some sort of, magical thing with the stone itself. The statue is quite tall. So you have to climb to reach up to it. There's no trick of what, the dungeon?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of rooms. Dairon,
Tommy Wiseau called.
I'm just gonna try to climb and touch it. Was that a mistake?
So, as you try and climb the statue and touch it, nothing happens when you touch the chest of the statue.
Cool. I'm gonna walk over this way. Yep.
Corridor.
I'm also trying to move faster now.
Dairon's just getting sick of this dungeon.
You think you figured out the trick, of course.
I think I, the player, am like trying to move this along.
Not to
So
make
you
you
see a
go slower,
very
not to make you
You
go
see a
slower.
noticeable pit in the thing to the south, this passageway.
Cool. What were we saying, Mel?
Not to make you go slow or anything, but you realize this is when the trap gets you.
I know.
You see a room that looks like it has multicolored stones for the tiles.
I'm gonna peek in.
So you see, like, corrosive, like, poisonous gas leaking from some of the bits of the floor. You could probably hold your breath and pass through the room as long as you aren't breathing.
Can I try and I feel like it's almost not worth it just yet. I'm really doing my best here. I don't like you made this. You did this to us.
The dead end.
Kaido, you did this to us.
Do you step inside, or at least look into the room?
Yes, I'm looking in this way.
You see a statue that's holding two coloured orbs. In its right hand is a softly glowing yellowish orange orb, and in the left hand is a greenish blue orb. Both of them are emitting light. As you
I
glance
inspect
down
the
this
statue.
passageway, the statue is of a regal-looking woman. There's a crown on top of her head, signifying, royalty of some sort.
Do I recognize them, or...?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Don't forget, Seiryu, when they ascended, would have came from, hundreds or maybe even thousands of years ago. You don't know how old Seiryu is.
Right,
So this could be Seiryu referencing, past excursions of stuff that has no significance to the modern day.
This is also Dairon thinking about, would Seiryu try to do, a kind of, greatest hits album of sorts?
The greatest hits and their music's still shit. You have a hidden talent. Keep it hidden. As you peek into this room, you see a room that with a door already opened, interestingly enough.
What is
And you
the blue
see
stuff?
blue rocks. You also begin to hear the sound of, someone walking in this room. You hear noticeable footsteps.
I'm gonna just peek. I'm gonna stealth and peek in.
As you peek in, you see someone very familiar.
Oh, hey, hey, Rua.
You see Rua as he turns around and points his gun at you. What the fuck?
How's it going?
Fucking hell.
Have you run into monsters yet?
He frowns at you. Why have you?
No, I'm just curious.
I've only found people.
What? Hello?
Yeah, I found people in here, bodies.
I see.
Why, if the things in here look like monsters to you?
No. You just seem
Okay.
really skittish.
Yeah, because I didn't realize you were fucking behind me. And I've been in here for ages.
I just got here.
I also have just got here.
Anyway. What's down this way, Kaido?
As you look down, there's a passageway that has a bend. Would you believe it if?
Is it a dead end?
No, it's just, you know.
Is this a door?
Yes.
I checked the door.
Did you open it?
Yep.
You see a
Okay.
room filled with what looks like acid.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I asked Rua, like, were you starting here, or?
I've been wandering around, but things, I don't know. I've been a bit turned all over the place trying to wander around.
I've been trying to keep a mental map of where I've been and where I'm going, but
I haven't seen hide nor hair of the other.
no, you're the first one I've run into. If we go back to this room, which way did Rua walk in from?
I think it was this way.
This way?
Yeah, as Rua like opens the door and you see a bend.
Okay. Why don't we go down this way first before we go back that way?
I mean, it's your trial, Dairon.
Thanks, I know. I go up.
As you make your way down these steps... Yeah, that's it. You make your way down some steps.
Is this a dead end?
No. But it seems to lead into a greater room. Inside, you see some more of this acid, and also what looks like steps leading down, and this way, which seems to lead into another adjacent room.
Can I walk around to this area without issue?
Yeah, you can. You peek in.
Mhm.
It seems to lead into steps going further down. And as you look ahead,
You're looking down the steps.
as you look down these steps, you see what leads into a very large room.
Hey, Rua, do you want to help me with this one?
How? What, like, oh, I see. Sure, fine.
Like, I'm trying to tiptoe around the pools of acid, obviously.
Ah! That was an accident. Like, Okay. There's a room this way, Dairon.
There's a room there.
Yeah. Well, more passageways.
Okay.
Oh, what did I just press? I don't know what I pressed. Yeah.
Let's go up it. I have a feeling this leads to a dead end, but...
One second, I just need to DM these guys something.
Oh boy.
And there you go. You can keep going though again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look down this way, because I have a feeling that's gonna be a connection.
What is it going to be? A rainbow connection?
Up this way, through the door. What the fuck?
You see in the center of this room is this like metallic orb. It seems to have like a golden and brass colouring.
Rua, stay out there for a second.
Oh, okay.
I don't want you getting caught in anything in case it's a trap.
I mean, I literally have the same evasive abilities as you, but that's fine.
I know, but if... I'd rather one of us not get hurt.
Do you touch the sphere?
I very gingerly touch it, yes.
Okay. Mill,
Yeah.
I need you to cut the music.
Did something finally happen?
As you touch the sphere, you find yourself immediately getting sucked inside it.
Rua, help! Rua!
As you look to Rua, it wasn't Rua that was with you. It was the Seiryu. As you find yourself getting sucked within this orb, you find yourself in a black void. As you look around, the only thing you see are people from your past. You see people from your gang back in the day, like Barkeep and Throne and all the others you grew up with. You see the Queen of Bovetment. You see some of the townspeople of Bovetment as well, people you might have wronged during your time in your gang, people you might have helped during your time in your gang. You see people of Centralis. You see friends you've made along your journey, like Rua, like Aldane and Seamus and Felix.
I am my own friend. You're right, Kaido.
You see Kuro. You see all of these people whose lives you've touched, and in a thunderclap, they all vanish. You see the blue dragon that you've come to tolerate at the very least.
I like Seiryu.
Here's the new music we're going to play, Mill.
Okay.
As the thunderclap happens and you see this giant blue dragon, which, by the way, anytime Seiryu's taken the shape of a dragon, they actually look like a long. They're like Eastern dragons.
Yeah, that's what that's what I was imagining.
You find yourself on a lonely cliff. Rain heavy. But yeah, even though it's like passing by you, you're not getting wet. It's almost as if you're like not physically there fully. Well, Dairon, after missing 2 exits, you finally found one of them.
Are you kidding?
The dragon shakes their head. By the way, that gelatinous cube was the only other proper life form in that entire maze.
Dairon just kind of looks like almost a god, like just confused is the right word.
Do you have any idea of why that maze was designed like it was?
It's a paranoid person's worst nightmare.
Exactly. Have you ever heard of the term think to feel, not think?
Yeah, constantly.
But it seems like you never tend to exhibit such a practice, do you? And there's nothing wrong with that. After all, some people who feel rather than think tend to get into trouble. They will do something foolish and then have to live with the consequences of their actions. But at the very least, there were a few moments I saw in that maze where you were just, how would I describe it? And you'll feel free to correct me, but it seemed as if you were just too paranoid. It's as if you don't rely on the skills you've accrued. In fact, that entire gelatinous cube was there specifically to, well, gelatinous cubes by their nature are supposed to be near impossible, which isn't the point, but think back to that room with the mirrors. You were getting slightly toasty, weren't you?
Yeah.
And again, there's nothing wrong with testing things to make sure there's no traps. But I could also tell you were worried that you might get walked in on, or that someone might find you, or that, you know. None of the rooms had doors had locks, so you didn't have to use your thieves' tools. And your natural perceptive abilities are greater than the average person could even dream to have. And yet you were still very, very, very cautious. Which again, there's nothing innately wrong with that, and I'm not trying to admonish you for doing so. But at the same time, and again, correct me if I might be wrong, but to me, it very much feels as if you're still too afraid of trusting the skills you have.
Yes and no.
Mic drop.
I would say that in many ways, yes, you're right. I do have a weakness in testing my own abilities. But it's also in the fact that I know that I am skilled in what I do. That I can let myself be this paranoid because I know that if I don't hear it, it's going to be something nasty. That if I can't sense it, if I can't feel it, if I can't detect, hear, or think fast enough, then my choice, then I'm in danger and I need to be ready anyway. And I need to be this parent, and I check because it's the thing I do to make sure that the others stay safe, so that Felix can be his goofball self, so that Seamus can be blithe, and Aldane can be a hero. I don't disagree with you. I do need to trust my own abilities more, and I was overly paranoid.
Admittedly, 90% of the stuff you saw was completely there to just make you think, to ponder. For example, that purple moss you went out of your way to avoid was exactly that, moss. Genbu helped me conjure this room. Some of this was fragments from some of our adventures. That room with the chess sets, the Byakko actually destroyed all of the chess pieces and killed the person who was trying to put us in that challenge.
Sounds like a Byakuya move, honest.
The that bridge with the water was actually from my homeland, from when I was but a wee kobold. You see, to test the children of my civilization for bravery, they would have the children walk across. Those who failed to walk across would be barred from eating food for the day. That was effectively the rite of passage for 5-year-olds. The water itself is specifically done in such a way where your average sized kobold could still stand in completely fine. You could argue it's effectively like a greatest hits, but well, that orb, for example, was actually something similar that happened. The Byakuya, in his reckless self, decided to check the orb. He got sucked inside, and then we had to spend the better part of half a week getting him out. To this day, we still have no idea what the orb was even used for. But you're not here to listen to me ramble and reminisce.
I mean, I kind of am.
And I'm not here to ramble and reminisce anyway.
Fair enough.
You have a city and home to liberate, and with another clap of thunder, your friends reappear. You see Seamus, you see Eldane, you see Felix, you see Rua.
Ah, my eyes, it's too bright.
Felix,
going?
it was complete darkness. What are you on about?
Yeah, going from complete darkness to brightness kind of hurts.
So the actual surroundings, it's a completely dark sky. It's actually not that bright. I do think it's funny that Felix would think it's too bright for himself anyway.
It's what dark vision does to a guy.
That moment when when you put someone's night vision mode on their goggles while it's in the middle of noon.
So, how much of that did you guys see?
So you all saw
no.
Dairon. You saw the entirety of Dairon traversing through that maze.
Man, I honestly wish Kuro was here to see that. He would have had such a fun time.
You would have enjoyed it, I know.
Yeah.
Would, Rua says.
Sorry.
It's fine. The dragon looking over you says, so, as part of the final bit of the test, step forward, young Ergenasi, as you will be baptized in divine lightning.
Dairon does.
As you step forward, I'm going to need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
This is the bit where I'm gonna fail.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna use an inspiration here.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's probably a good place to use an inspiration.
So you would be too far to get the benefits of Aldane's aura?
Yeah. But I am gonna use the inspiration here.
So, you will take this much in lightning damage. You do see it coming, so you are allowed to...
Wait, can I not use the inspiration to reroll or something?
You can. I'm just saying you're still taking damage. I'm just saying you can also use Uncanny Dodge to evade some of the damage. Do you understand?
Sure. Yeah, I'll hold then. An uncanny dodge.
I mean, you do pass. You would pass with that 18, otherwise you do fail.
You know what? Let's do it. I'm gonna use it.
So, I just need to check something, because I need to make sure I'm actually not doing too much damage. So you take that much enlightening damage.
Oh. Even
What
with the
happens
pass?
is...
That's a lot of damage.
So that's the damage you would take. From passing, it's halved. From uncanny dodge, it's halved again. Seiryu himself opens his mouth and blasts you with an immediate shot of just lightning. You find a way to basically on reflex, use your what's the word? Shocking grasp to kind of deflect some of the blast. But it still hurts. So you only take, a quarter of the damage. As the lightning traipses through your body, you feel like you're going through a seizure. Your leg seize up, your body goes numb. You basically stop feeling your spine. Your mouth struggles to move. Your hair feels like it's being singed. It hurts to breathe. It feels like you're breathing in electricity itself into your very lungs. It almost feels like you're inhaling glass. As you are stood there in agony, knowing that if you'd have failed to survive that blast, it would not have been pretty.
I think Dairon is screaming, but can't hear them screaming.
It's superficial damage. You didn't physically take the hit. It was more as if it was an attack on your very soul.
I still think Dairon is yelling.
Yeah, it would hurt. You stand there, and you survive. Seiryu, with another clap of thunder, appears to you in the form of his kobold self. That was just the test shot. Now we're going to do the real baptism of lightning.
Okay.
Seiryu holds out his hand for you to shake. Do you shake it?
Yes. I think Dairon, for a second, thanks to insight.
I don't want to be hurt again. I imagine that's
No, I think Dairon, stops for a second to, do a quick read on the Seiryu. But, no, I think Seiryu's words hit. And Dairon trusts that they've made it this far.
The moment you clasp the Seiryu's hand, nothing happens. The Seiryu gives you a smile and just says, I lied. That blast was supposed to be the baptism, but you took it really well. I'm almost a bit disappointed in myself. Or maybe it's just that you're so damn resilient. Mentally and physically.
I mean, considering you've seen what we've been through at this point.
True, I have. It almost made me jealous of my younger days. But I'm a god now. While I could give up my domain, there isn't anyone I could see worthy as taking over it. Genbu's the only one of us four to even have children, and he didn't even want any of them to inherit his throne. Even that one ration still only really acts as an occasional, messenger for him. Nevertheless, you've passed your trial, Dairon. You should be proud. I am proud of you. And I'm sure they are as well. He gestures to your friends behind you. Just as I'm sure you were for them.
I think Dairon nods their head, but is smarting almost from the admonishment a little bit.
I mean, you also did get blasted by lightning,
Yes.
seconds ago.
Yes, but
Yeah.
essentially, Dairon is too paranoid for their own good, and that's what this trial is meant to.
Ultimately, Dairon, most of what I'm saying, again, you're more than free to correct me, because it isn't about you necessarily booking to what I'm telling you to do, or how you should act.
No, of course.
Having the resolve to even stand up for yourself and even try to justify what you're doing is more than enough. What matters, however, is your willingness to change and grow, and you have, in subtle ways. I can't imagine you would laugh and joke with the friends you would have had back then like you are now. At least not with the same level of trust that you have in them.
No.
Well, I guess I should give you your boon. Excuse me.
The Seiryu do the burp.
He's burps and you just say like a loud thunderclap. No. So a flash of lightning appears behind him, and he moves out of the way, and you see a bow. The bow is relatively modest compared to the equipment that your allies have gotten. However, this bow is actually a longbow, for one, and you notice there's no string. The way the bow is designed, how would I describe it? It has sort of like... So the bow itself is mostly black in colour, but you see brief bits of like electric blue, like lightning itself. Seiryu shows you whilst it's in your grasp, and he tells you if you twist the bow just like, and he shows you the actual center of the bow where you would hold it to knock your arrows in detaches, and from it forms two blades of lightning. And then he shows you how to put them back together, and the dual blades return to the bow shape they were before. And when you knock an arrow, if you want to do a test fire,
I start doing it.
he basically gives you a longbow, like an arrow. Again, there's no string, but immediately in a flash you see a small thin blue line, seemingly acting as your bowstring. When you pull back on the bow, the draw weight is heavy as a bow should be, because you know you're effectively carrying that weight on your shoulders when you do the pulling of a bowstring.
Right.
You know, as you fire the arrow, give me a dexterity check, just dexterity. You've not had proper experience with a longbow. If I recall, they're not even available for rogues, are they?
Not for rogue.
You're very unfamiliar with the use of the bow, which is to be expected. But nevertheless, the shot flies quite well, considering it's pretty much one of your first times using one. It feels comfortable, and in fact, when you actually hold onto the bowstring, you feel a slight hum from your fingers. It's not enough that it would cause your fingers to go numb. If anything, it's more of the... what's the word? The proof of your of holding on to the bow. When it eventually falls into the water, you see a flash of electricity as it hits the water. This bow will be your new weapon, and you don't even have to be trained in longbows to use it.
Wow.
And when you need to, it can temporarily turn into blades of electricity for you to use. That, however, its melee form is temporary. But in the time it should take, you should be able to do enough damage that you shouldn't need to run out of time.
That's the hope, anyway.
And for what it's worth, even if you run out of time, you're not alone in your fights.
Hopefully not again.
And even if you are, you're never lonely, even when you are alone. The Seiryu walks over to the cliff. He looks to you all, gives an approving nod, and just leans back, falling off the cliff. And in an instant, you find yourself back onto the world map.
Alrighty then.
The rainstorm that greeted you when you had teleported here is gone. Instead, you see the sun in the distance to the east. It's a nice warm ray of sunlight. And you see as Prody is actually just stood outside, as if he's looking out into the distance. He looks over to you guys and just says, "Oh, it's good to see you doing well."
Hey,
How
Brody.
long have we been?
You've been gone for only any pauses, like 30 minutes.
It's not too bad. Felt like longer. Felt like it was several hours.
I was receiving sendings from some of the others. Just as more status updates. Apparently, one guy had tried to contact a couple of you and didn't get a response. So then he started. Then him and Turim were talking to me.
Oh no, I did get Guy's message. I just didn't want to reply right this second. I was gonna do it later, then I forgot.
So
What did
Prody
he
goes on
contact you
to
about?
say. So Prody goes on to say, Guy had messaged you, Felix, Dairon, and Seamus before giving up.
Is it
what was-
something urgent?
So it's more just a status update saying that, they've been training the former slaves of Black Crane to act as a sort of militia so that they can hopefully protect themselves once, their forces won't need to be in the country anymore. Apparently, Hayato has personally sent aid to the country as well and offered his own country's training to help them as well.
That's good.
From what I've heard as well, between Turim and Guy, Torrent is awaiting us in Pahala. The Queen of Bovetments is also awaiting us to meet her, and so are the King and Queen of Siltanok. If you can still cast any spells, Felix.
It's gonna take us. We're gonna have to overnight here.
Okay then. Well, we could always teleport. I was going to say we could have teleported to Siltanok, but to Dragon's Throne even. But well, anyway.
I can do it, but I'm gonna need a rest first.
That's fine.
Well, I can presumably do it. I should probably keep looking at the spell. Are any of you sure you don't have anything from Dragon's Throne?
Rua shakes his head.
We could check our inventory, but
Anything. I'll take a leaf at this point.
Didn't I pick up some weapons?
I don't remember. If you did, you probably might have sold them though.
Mm,
I recall buying potions at some point while we were here, but Did I get the potion of fire resistance in the Underdark or in
I do
Dragon's
not
Throne?
know.
The potion of fire resistance, I'm
know
pretty
you-
sure, was
I know
the
you got-
fucking
I know you got-
Tenoyama
I know-
piece.
I know you got fleeced in the Underdark.
Yeah. Was it
Um,
the? No, it was something or other.
Well, I'm just going to say we can have a long rest here. When the next day arrives, Felix, I assume, do you cast your teleport?
Yes.
D100 me up, my dude?
Please don't let us end up in Centralis again.
There we go.
Hey, there we go. You teleport and you immediately find yourself within... What's the word? The Dragon's Throne. You see several lizard folk, dragonborn, and a few kobolds jolt in surprise. Haha, get it? Because of earlier.
Yeah.
As you continue along, as you arrive in the capital. You are quickly greeted by a semi-familiar bronze-coloured dragonborn-looking fellow. Here's the new music, by the way, Mel. It is Alafukin, the Prince of Siltanok. It's good to see you. We've been corresponding with some of the other people about helping you and other things. Please come inside. We do have some things to talk about. I know you've only just got here, but time is of the essence, of course.
Of course.
He leads you inside the palace. You see the king and queen sat at their thrones. The queen, who is the silver dragon, gives you a small, friendly smile. It's good to see you all again. We hope you're doing well. We are deeply sorry for after having heard what happened with Oryx. Him sacrificing himself to help protect Bovetment and help others is, well, it's good to see that, he is of noble character, as we were willing to put our faith in him. How are you all faring, by the way?
Slightly singed.
Doing all right.
Well, we didn't end up in Centralis after the teleport, so I'm gonna say successful.
We can definitely chalk that up as a win.
Oh, if you have access to teleports, we can give you something to help with that.
That would
Oh,
be
thank
very
God.
much
That'd
appreciated.
be appreciated.
She gestures to one of the people within the castle. She gestures to a kobold, and he hastily skitters off. Swiftly returning with a wax seal, actually. The seal itself carries the crest. Using this will allow you free access in and out of the city. And you can also use it as the item necessary for teleportation.
Well, Felix, you should probably hold on to it that then.
Thank you very much.
This is proof that you are allies of our fair home.
I apologize that we weren't able to stay for very long last time we visited.
Time is of the essence. You had the Dracolich to deal with. Which, by the way, incredible work. I know, this is the first time we've met since you dealt with Black Rain. But it's good to know that the Black Dragon's reign over the people of there was no more. In fact, in my younger days, I actually attempted to liberate Black Rain. However, I was caught unawares with my almost literal tail between my legs, I made my escape and, well, knew that I couldn't go again without potentially being killed. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Eben himself chose to let me live as an example.
I would believe that.
Nevertheless, it's good to know that he's been dealt with. Which, speaking of dragons, we've been looking into the other dragons, the other ancient dragons of this land. The problem is, how aware of you are you of the other continents?
Sorry, kind of one more time?
How aware of the other continents are you?
We know they exist, and that Akra originated from one of them. And that I have ancestry there.
So would you both, and she gestures to you, Felix and Seamus, if you are from Tenoyama blood, we have reason to believe that some of the ancient dragons reside within those other continents. However, it has been many, many decades, well, nearly a century and a half, since anyone has had contact with those other continents. It isn't as if they're lost to us, but, well, the transportation we would need to reach them is no more. That was the point of what the humans did to try and maintain a monopoly on this continent. I wanted to see if we could request aid from the other ancient dragons to deal with the Tarask. However, none of them, with the means we have, responded to our calls for aid.
Not to... I'm grateful that you checked. However, I wasn't expecting the ancients to reach out.
Well, we are the
Unless they're
ancients of our particular colour. However, the problem is that if the Tarask is allowed to reign free, it won't just be our continent's problem. It'll be everybody's problem. An unchecked Tarask is, well, an apocalyptic event. In fact, in my lifetime alone, I've seen it appear twice. The second time was the time a few decades ago. If the Tarask is allowed to awaken again, this will be the third time in my lifetime that we've seen it. The second time it appeared, it was already more dangerous than the first time.
I shudder to think where it would be like this time.
I fear to imagine what it will be like. Especially because we received the notes that you had received about the Tarask apparently learning to potentially be able to adapt. If the Tarask still has abilities to counter or even ignore our breath weapons, we would be of very little help of you. In fact, if anything, we'd be massive targets that would get in your way.
I wonder if that's what the ancient dragon, your more ancient kin, also think.
They were not present when the Tarask was summoned, and we didn't tell them about that. We just said that we needed their aid. When it comes to some dragons and some people, giving your immediate reasoning for desiring help isn't a good thing. We are in need, but for some people, immediate desperation is a quality that people do not like or want to help. Especially if they would be under the belief that we would have very little to give them in return.
Yeah.
However, she gestures to Olafukin, and he then speaks up. I've decided I'm going to personally help with this. I truly wanted to help with dealing with Black Rain. However, I chose not to, and I felt like I should. As the prince of this country and soon eventual heir, I need to be more active in helping this continent. When the time comes for helping to liberate Centralis, I will personally be there to give you aid in person.
That's welcome to hear.
Thank you,
And-
Good Highness.
When, or well, hopefully if the Tarask does awaken again, I will be there as well to help. He pauses for a moment as he tries to think of what he needs to say next. Seeing the rest of the leaders of the countries doing things, I need to follow suit. Just because we are dragons, and just because we are the furthest away from where the cult is right now, does not mean that we should stand idly by. If we wish to be considered part of the continent of Tyrell, we need to share in its joys and its sorrows. The bronze-coloured dragon reaches into the cloak that he's wearing. Inside it, he hands you a letter. Inside this letter, how would I describe it? It's a magical effect that, how would I describe it? It can effectively summon me when once opened. Wherever I am on this planet, I will immediately appear by your side once it is opened. If, before we actually meet to help free Centralis, you need of my aid, open this letter and it will summon me. The letter will be destroyed immediately, however, once used. But I want this to be the first step to show the resolve I'm carrying and my desire to help.
We thank you for your aid, Your Majesty.
The King and Queen of Siltanok, smiling at their son, clearly beaming with pride. The King now joins into the conversation, just says, we did some searching as well, after all, as we are children of the great god Pludral, it is no major secret to know that Pludral has been silent for a long time. We did more research into Pludral's vanishment. It seems as if the last traces of his existence was around the temple, as he points to Rua, where your sword was last kept. However, those traces were last seen around 81 years ago, which is around the time when Stasia Everay would have been active. What this means, I do not know. However, in history, it has been said that, well, it is known that Pludral and Hatayia worked closely together during the time that Hatayia was the emperor of this world. And well, if that blade that you carried, or carry? Rua then says, I no longer have it on my person. The king nods before then continuing. The blade that you did have was personally wielded by Hatayia himself. That temple was supposed to be his tomb when he would pass away. And so, I guess it stands to reason that perhaps Pludral decided to, after losing his closest ally, went there in some sort of mourning. How such a being could have their physical body vanish is another question, however. You've all seen Ancient Dragons, have you not? Oryx, I assume you've seen him transform into his full dragon state.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it, yeah.
Pludral is said to be twice as large as your average ancient dragon.
Yeah.
So for a being of that size and scale and majesty to be vanished with no traces is, well, it is concerning anyway, as I'm sure you are aware, but it is especially concerning considering that, well, it has been so long since Pludral has not only been seen, but we ancient dragons have a direct connection to Pludral. And so for even us to be unaware of where he is, for where they are, well...
Remind me, do we know anything that we should be sharing with them?
What do you mean?
Like, is there something about the threat, about, like, the location of Pludral that we were supposed to, like, push forward to them, or not?
Not in particularly, no. The information that Pludral was last seen at the temple where Rua had gotten the Moonblade from is news to you, however. And again, also as a reminder, the last sighting was again over 80 years ago when Stasia was actually like around. You know, when he was liberating the continent.
Mm-hmm.
We would personally go, again, as I said, as my wife said, to deal with the Tarrasque. However, we were personally involved in dealing with the Tarrasque when it last appeared. If it has evolved and grown since then, we would be of little help. However, we intend to deal with any stragglers of the cult, if any intend to interrupt you dealing with the Tarrasque. We aren't just going to sit on our thrones and let nothing, and let us not help.
Of course.
We will directly be involved, however, if we absolutely need to. However, at that point, it will mostly devolve into a physical brawl. We had an idea where, if the worst should happen and the Tarrasque cannot be properly dealt with, my wife and I would take to our dragon forms, do our best to lift the Tarrasque and drag it into the ocean. We would swim as deep as our bodies and lung capacity could allow us. But ideally that will never come to pass. Is there anything any of you would like to particularly ask us? We've said a lot to you, but... well... if there's anything you need to know, please ask.
I don't. Dairon just says I've had a really long trip in terms of what I've been through recently, so I need to. I apologize if I'm not as
We need to rest.
verbose.
What about you, Felix or Seamus?
I'm just sort of trying to go through the
It's been a
information.
long journey.
I'm just sort of trying to go through the information I've already got about Pludral and try and figure some stuff out there.
I mean, you can make religion checks if you would like.
I mean, I'll try.
To see if what knowledge you already have and what you've seen and what they've just said might help. Any of you can do a religion check if you'd like.
Fuck it, why not?
22.
18. Not too bad. Not too
Okay,
shabby,
so-
huh?
All of
I'd
you
love-
would know that generally when a god is being succeeded, it's not necessarily that the god ceases to be. And you would also know that even if a god was to die, the concepts that they would embody doesn't vanish with them. Especially for some of the more physical concepts, like say, if the god of the sea was to die, the planet would not suddenly experience a instant drought.
So this isn't God of War.
No, this is a good media franchise. But yeah, and especially because balance is such a man-made abstract concept, Pludral being missing wouldn't necessarily cause problems, but you'd also know that when it comes to effectively the top gods, Pludral would be up there in terms of like the strongest gods alive. Again, as I've said before repeatedly, them being gone is worrisome for myriad reasons. Especially because, how would I describe it? So, if a god was to die, however, people who are directly benefiting from the worship of that specific being, i.e., say a cleric or a paladin, would lose their powers. However, clerics and or paladins or any other followers of Pludral haven't lost their divine abilities. But at the same, even these ancient dragons who supposedly have a direct connection to Pludral cannot sense where they are.
I can't remember if this is related to Pludral, but it's certainly next to it in my notes. There's somebody time traveling.
I don't remember that. I'm not actually sure about that.
It was while we
Honestly.
were. It was just after we did, or it was while we were on the run from the prison.
I
But-
actually don't remember. I
So
mean,
I think I stole a Pludral book from the library before we burned it down. I mean, somebody mysteriously
some-
burned it down.
so some of that book does say in like a synopsis that some of it is hearsay. So it's written by a seemingly unreliable narrator. So there are particularly outlandish speculation or claims that have no substance behind them.
All style, no substance.
Most of the stuff you can personally probably put faith in is a lot of stuff that has kind of already been
Stated
through,
in other sources, yeah.
Yeah, because in some of that book, it would have said that every child is directly due to Hatayia physically birthing the ancient dragons.
Damn.
And you would also know that most classical depictions of Hatayia depict Hatayia with a penis, like male genitalia. So for Hatayia to birth something would be extremely suspect.
What, you don't have Empreg in this world, Kado?
No. Well, trans Empreg, but like...
So not ABO.
That
Got it.
is
No.
very bigoted and not
I
cool.
know. I need to do better.
How dare you, Kaido?
It also does mention, however, that the reason why Pludral is generally referred to they-them pronouns is because Pludral was actually born with both sets of genitalia,
Oh, so hermaphrodite.
and, however, because of Pludral effectively being so intertwined to balance, you could argue the balance of gender is in such a way where they kind of are more like agender, where they don't really embody a single gender because they are such a mix of both.
So
Will also be-
omnigender.
In a way, yes. Because again, another speculative claim in that book you would have read, Felix, is that Pludral themselves asexually birthed their own children. However, the wording is so unclear that it's entirely possible they, well, literally fucked themselves. Again, no proof, source, I made it the fuck up.
I've also got
Like-
I've also got here that Pludral may have been in love with Hatayia.
The Queen replies and just says, that is a not uncommon theory that people have had, but we weren't alive back when that happened. There have been many ancient dragons since us. We are just the current silver and bronze ancient dragons, respectively.
Here's a question.
Generally, there's supposed to only be one ancient dragon of each colour. Not to say there can't be more than one. In fact, there could even be 3 ancient silver dragons. Not even counting myself. What were you going to say, Dairon?
I was actually about to ask, where of the active ancient dragons, do you know where they are? Like, which ones are still active in the world?
I mean, we don't know, because a lot of them seemingly live on the other continents. The red dragon did live on this continent. However, they went missing around the time that the Tarask was actually summoned. Whether they used the opportunity to go into hiding, I do not know. The ancient black dragon, of course, is now dead. Whether that means another one could succeed Eben, I do not know. As Eben, at least in terms of Black Rain, in terms of this continent, exclusively had children, while... how would I explain? Half-dragon children would physically exhibit more characteristics of being a dragon. However, from what we have seen of some of Eben's children, they didn't. My only belief is that he might have potentially tampered with his children, or even his own sperm, to potentially suppress those physical traits. Given his desire to have his children blend into society, it might be possible he had their physical dragon traits suppressed to let them blend in society better.
That sounds very possible and likely with Eben, yeah.
For example, Oryx's mother was, she wasn't a dragon herself, but she was how would I describe it? Her great-grandfather was the ancient gold dragon. Of course, some things skip generations with dragons and any other genetics. And she was actually quite lucky she was able to transform into a dragon. Albeit temporarily. Oryx, of course, simply just used true polymorph to become a dragon and went from there.
Thank you for the information. That does help.
We care about finding out what happens to Pludral anyway, purely because, well, Pludral was our ancestor, and, you know, there also hasn't been an Azamar of Pludral in a very long time as well.
Are they usually connected to Silternok?
We have a means that we would like to keep secret.
Fair.
Which allows us to detect and know where the Azamar is. Or, well, if there was an Azamar of Pludral, or Azamars. But there is none. And unlike with Pludral, where they are seemingly here but not here, Pludral never, at least potentially even bothered to sire an Azamar or two. At least in this current generation. That'd be more accurate to describe, because Pludral has sired Azamar before, but the last sighted Azamar was over a millennium ago.
I presume you have done some investigations into where Pludral may be?
Yes. Again, since the moment we even felt the lack of Pludral's presence, we spent a lot of resources and time on ourselves to check.
Is it possible they're struck in another plane?
We would know. We have actually physically hopped across planes in Pludral with no success. That is why it is so worrisome. Imagine if you could smell perfume or something sweet, but there's nothing that would realistically carry that scent. It's like that. We know it is here, but the where is the problem.
Remind me, how long has it been since Pludral has been last heard from?
So, the last vague sighting was again over 80 years ago, and they actually say that was actually a relatively new discovery. They only learnt that weeks ago, that at some point Pludral had been, for however long, at the Temple of the Moonblade. But Pludral, according to them, has been missing even longer than that, and they aren't actually sure because it's been so long that they don't really know when they would have vanished.
This is the paranoid person I know. I just had a whole thing with Seiryu about this. But is it possible the last rising of the Tarask had anything to do with it?
No.
Fair.
So, not counting the Tarask that appeared over, well, a few decades ago, the last sighting before then, Pludral was also gone as well.
Is it possible that Pludral is hiding themselves, or should we assume that it's somebody or something else that's caused it?
If there is a being out there that can cause God to be hidden to the degree that Pludral is, they would have to be incomprehensibly powerful.
Hey.
For a god to do such a thing, other gods would notice. And for other gods to have interpersonal conflicts, would then cause other gods to be aware, which would then cause a massive upheaval. If it is a mortal being that has done it, and a lot of people would notice. People like Akra can't really go by without someone noticing his existence. While he is good at suppressing his power, it would... when Akra could flex his power, like he did at the Ebony Imperium when he transformed like he did, we could sense it all the way from here. And he, to my knowledge, would not be strong enough to even actively be the cause to seal a god. Could he maybe harm a god? Absolutely so. I'd be willing to believe he could. But, say, even catching a god by surprise would be a tremendous accomplishment. Weakening a god to then seal it would be an even greater accomplishment. In a different direction.
So you're saying that you could notice that their power was being flexed, but what if they weren't using their power purposefully?
Would the absence also be a flex of their power?
I mean,
we would be able. So yes, I understand. So the vague location from where Pludral would have been would have still left traces. Seemingly, the last sighting of Pludral in any capacity was within the Temple of the Moonblade, as has been established. Which means, unless a creature or being was able to go to the temple and find it, they would have had to find the temple and know where it was, even stumbling across it, which is, fine. But they would then still have to have the means to seal a god that is one of the most powerful gods alive. To our knowledge, there has never been another god of balance.
Again, I'm
Pludral's
not
always
even
been the deity of balance, which should hopefully infer how strong Pludral has always been.
You've convinced me that there isn't a second party here that has managed to trap Pludral somehow, but
my theory is that he has willingly sealed himself or hidden away somewhere.
that was what I was getting at, yes.
The why is another problem. Again, I would be willing to believe he sealed himself because he would be mourning the loss of their friend.
That was all... a friend, in inverted commas, yes.
I mean...
A dragon and their rider can be a genuinely platonic relationship. Unless we physically was to speak to Pludral, we have no ways to know what their relationship with Hatayia was like. I do not pretend to know the relationships of him. Of them. Him being Hatayia anyway, but anyway.
It sounds like the first place we should check at this point is the temple.
I'd suggest you do that after you've already dealt with your things, because this... Well,
Oh, I mean...
none of this is immediately...
This doesn't seem like, us finding, or even trying to find Pludral is going to, really affect things in the short term. So yeah, we'll do it once we've taken back Cordis and sent those pesky Cult of the Trask members running.
Alafykin can direct you to the inn that you can be staying at for tonight if you need to rest.
It would be appreciated. I can still only teleport once a day.
You can feel free to stock up any gear you need. There is, of course, magical item shops if you would require to buy any new equipment. if you need anything else from us, feel free to ask us, and we will be ready to help you whenever we can.
Dairon's gonna
Much
go to a
appreciated.
weapon shop and like sell their crossbow.
What, you don't want to have a spare sidearm?
So, because you've used it for how long?
Almost the entire campaign at this point, I would say.
I'm gonna say because it's very used, you wouldn't get a lot for it. Is it a light crossbow?
Yeah, I'm also good. I was thinking about trading it for a hand crossbow.
So, I'm gonna say you would only get, like, 5 silver.
That's fine. I just wanted to. I'm just offloading it for a better sidearm, like Jack mentions.
I'm gonna be DMing you, by the way, about the weapon, but for now you can basically just put longbow in your character sheet. And then you can, like,
That's a
paste
1d10, right?
I don't remember.
It's like normal longbow characteristics, right?
You can... Yeah, but I'll be giving you the extra stuff for it in DMs later.
Sounds good.
Anywho, we can.
Yes.
We can
if
probably
you-
do all this stuff next time.
Yes. We can wrap the session up here. I think now's as good a place as any.
Alright. That is everything for today. So thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. In terms of future stuff, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays. Please do give us a follow here on Twitch and all that YouTube stuff.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and please press that bell icon, yo.
And otherwise, hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday for what should be the end of Batman Arkham Knight. I should be able to collect the rest of the Riddler trophies by then.
Oh, you're actually doing all the Riddler trophies?
I need to
man.
beat him up.
That's the best part.
After 3 games of having to listen to him go on and on and on about how dumb we are for not finding his stupid fucking trophies, I'm going to beat the shit out of him.
I get the sense that you actually kind of dislike him.
No, I genuinely... They aren't riddles. There's
No.
like 40 actual riddles and then the rest of it is just bullshit.
Oh, Arkham Knight is the worst about it too. 'cause
Check
it's-
the leftmost bin at the back of the McDonald's.
Effectively,
Use your
yeah.
back to
Most
be
of
able to
it's
get access.
Most of it's just car puzzle, like car game.
Anyways, we can rant about this offline.
Yeah. Alright. Thank you again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday. Good night.
Later.
Bye bye.